and they have acquired the resources and the gold from the Aztec. And ever since, they have used these resources to push the tendrils of their power ever deeper into Ethmore. And now, well, with their leader Astria, she feels that she's really close to the complete domination, complete dominance over the continent of Ethmore. One last push, and
This close.
yeah, this close, close
On her
close,
fingertips.
Yeah. So one last push, and victory might be in her grasp.
So interesting. She's right there. She's at the finish line.
She's right there, like close to Christmas, as close as we are.
Nice. Ian, did you want to talk about General Judd?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is a perfect segue because this brings us to our hero skin character, General Ja. He's a man of ambition. He's cunning. He's dangerous. But he's also a man of great importance because this is a character who's gained prominence ever since the Hungry Ghost Festival, which was our Halloween event last year. After the White Bone Spirit attacked, she wiped out the Woolen Elite, so there was a power vacuum, and Ja essentially rose up to the occasion, and he filled that power vacuum. Now he's been, consolidating power, amassing followers, so he has a pretty strong army at his beck and call. He wants to put the Woolen on the map in a big way, and the way that he can do that, he sees now, is to ally himself with the Horkos. So he reaches out to Astria, saying, it's time that we ally with one another, and that way, we'll be unstoppable at this point. And Astria, as we said, she's this close to power, to having full control and power. So she's like, okay, this is how I do it. But she's heard stories about also.
Can you guys hear me?
Capable of. He knows he may not
Hopefully
be
so.
fully
I've just
trustworthy.
enabled my mic, so apologies, it was
it's
slightly
a
muted
bit,
there.
there's some good and bad.
How are you guys
So
doing?
she brings her own army with her. A bigger army
In
than
case you
she
didn't
knows
know,
she
this
has. That
is
way,
season
it's a
8
show of
title
force.
update, 1
There's
of
no,
season
there's no
4
way
for
that
For Honor.
anything bad essentially can
So yeah,
happen,
year 8,
if
season
she does
4
that. So
For Honor.
she brings her army.
That's what we're
to
here for.
this
We
10th
just thought
ceremony.
we'd have a quick
He's gonna
chill
offer
out
her the sword.
stream with you guys. I haven't done one for a
and
while.
Yeah, she's willing
And
to accept
see what's
it,
happening,
but also
see what's going on. So
there's some
welcome
tension
guys
between
to
Woolen and
the
Horkos,
stream.
because now it's kind of like Christmas at your relative's place. You're not sure who's on your side, who's
Got it.
not. You could fight with anybody essentially.
He's gonna reach for the knife.
Exactly.
Apparently there's a
But
new
it's
hero
Christmas,
skin, so I think that's
and
probably going to
there's
be the
some-
highlight
it's
of the
Frostwind,
video.
I should say, and
I should say
and
I'm
yeah,
only
there's
available
some-
for the
some-
next
some
hour or
tension there.
so.
There's more
so
to
I
learn
don't know
about
how long
General
the stream's
Ja,
going to go on.
So if you want to
but,
read his short
yeah.
story, The Serpent, it'll be out tomorrow
That's,
on the website.
that's what we're here for.
And,
So
yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. And,
is
we're
that the
very
hero skin
excited.
there?
I would say to summarize,
Could be.
never make an alliance or peace with your friend. You make it with your enemy. So it's always a tense process. So yeah, there's a lot of tension here, but it's a time of celebration and trying to achieve peace.
It's very wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thank you. I guess we can move on. Just looking at the hero skin one more time. The hero skin will be available for $11.99 or 25K.
Yes,
steel.
it is. Yeah. So there is the hero skin. So it looks like it's Zanhu.
To go into
That looks pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
That looks nice.
We're doing a
Different kind of
model deep
helmet.
dive just right after with Sav. That's very exciting.
I've not
Yeah,
played
let's take a look very quickly
Zanhu
at
in a while,
the
actually.
map realization. As you mentioned before,
Yeah.
it's, winter settling in.
Yeah. So winter is setting in Ethmore.
No new map,
And
but
so
it
as
is a
you
map
said, it is a time
reskin.
of celebration, but it's also a time tense celebration.
I was
for
hoping at some
players.
point they would give us a
So
new map,
it's on
but it
the Arbor
doesn't
map, as
seem
I'm
like
sure
it's going to happen.
everybody.
Certainly
has
not this
sword
year.
for. This is a sword that is about to be offered. As you can see, you have plenty of Orcos symbols everywhere.
Didn't know I streamed.
They have come in force.
Yeah, I
They are
don't
here
stream
to
too
prove
often.
Their power to receive.
It is a
this,
rare occurrence.
Supplement of power. These, Astria for the
If I
first
did
time
stream
will
often,
be
I'd
able to
probably
have
have a one mic set up.
Some
first
form
start.
of foothold into the Woolen territory or Woolen
Shows
army.
how rusty I am with the
And
old
with
streaming
that, she'll
tech.
be able so to achieve total victory. So yeah, you have the map, and it is helping us to tell the story.
Amazing. She's definitely sensing though that something is a bit.
Yes. Well,
foot
Mhm.
remiss.
So this is something. I mean, you'll be talking about it
Yeah.
a bit later with the artist Sav, but the serpent is a symbol of, maybe wickedness in the West, but it's a symbol of being wise in China, and so there is a double meaning here, but is he really ill-intentioned, or there is a reason why there is some tension? They were enemies, so where will it go? We don't know for now.
Awesome. That's very exciting.
Probably shouldn't trust a guy who dresses up as a serpent.
True.
You
True.
He does it because he's wise.
Yeah.
That's it. Cunning. Moving on, let's take a look at the in-game realization. Starting off with the landing page. There's General Jia again, presenting me the sword. That's what
He
I'm
does be
doing.
looking,
I probably would.
swag.
Looks pretty cool. I
Although
love
I've only
the,
seen like a couple of
constellation.
clips of
Very nice.
him so far.
Very pretty. Here's our minions.
Welcome, guys who are just joining. Welcome
they're
back.
part of his troops, right?
You, Jim. How you doing, man?
We also have the Frostwind
to see you
offering
as well.
event, which means Ice Brawlers is coming back.
Oh yeah.
Very exciting.
Ah, good old Ice Brawlers.
There'll be a free event pass starting December
The
19th,
classic.
and running until January
Possibly a
9th.
more
but we can
toxic
take
mode
a look
than
at the in-game
elimination.
realization for that as well.
Which is hard to do. Actually, maybe
Aladdin
not.
on his
Sure.
fireside.
I don't think a limb
That
will
hat
ever
looks
be
familiar.
topped
Oh yeah.
if it's toxicity.
We got the holiday minions. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, to charge in battle with a king.
That's kind of cool.
These are my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
These are actually
snowman.
from year 4,
Actually,
season
just
4,
stop it.
actually.
Great weapon, the broom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can also take a look at the rewards for the event pass. Got the battle outfit, Prowling Felty. Hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Got the ornament Wulin Alliance. Love the balance. Kind of like a yin and yang almost. I like it. And we have a mood effect too. Wulin Victory.
Finishing up, going through the factions in groups.
Yeah. Love it. Alex, we also have a battle pass releasing tomorrow.
I think in the
Well,
summer,
tell us about this
They
season
should
pass.
do
So the theme that
Lava
we're trying to
brawlers.
explore this season was the cycle of life
as
and
they
death,
do ice
with a
brawlers in
lot of
winter.
Focus on
That
on
would be
rebirth
my
and,
choice of mode.
Yeah, generally going through what the whole life cycle of a person can be. So you'll see this in all of the different elements of the battle pass. It's in the masks that we have, the mask effects. It's in the ornament. You can see it in the.
How do I feel about the hero skin? I've only seen a little bit of it, but I think it looks nice.
It's the end of the year. But it's also
I
the
think
beginning
with a
of the
few
year, so
effects,
of
it will
course-
look even better.
Transition.
I like this.
Yeah.
What do you
Frostwood
think he's
present.
got in there?
It seems alive. He's
Yeah.
kicking it, which is a bad sign.
Yeah.
What's in the bag?
The serpent?
Hopefully not a serpent. Take a look at a little sneak peek at the weapons, which you'll be able to see just after this segment. But here's a little sneak peek.
See a
So
bit of
so nice.
Correlation between their design and
Black
the
Prior
cycles.
shield
Yeah.
is looking nice.
Beautiful.
They always do well with the shields when it comes to
Artful
weapons.
Tarotan? Hope I said that right.
Good old
Very nice.
Highlander.
Super
Whom I
detailed.
Have yet to play.
Beautiful. We also have a Legacy Pass releasing at the same time, which means content from Year 4, Season 4 that's retrofitted.
Ah,
So some of the themes that the team explored during that season was the Renaissance, Invention, and Revenge. The main aesthetic of everything you're going to be seeing is inspired by neo-Victorian imagery, which is now...
the Eagle
more
ones are pretty
commonly
good.
known
That would
as,
be good to
as
see some
steampunk.
people get those.
So yeah, you see like some
I use
gears
them
in
on
the
my
weapons
T-Andy
and stuff like that.
and Griffin.
But yeah, we witnessed the Resistance from Season 3 and Year 4 try to fight back against the Horkos army. They used forged weapons to fight back, but it wasn't enough. But thankfully, Ilma the blacksmith created weapons to help overthrow the Horkos army. Yeah.
I've been waiting all year for this Legacy Pass to come back because I love the steampunk, but
Yeah.
I wasn't playing the game
Mm.
as much as I do today at
Yeah.
the time. So yeah, I'm really gonna try to get them this time.
Really beautiful. This is their chance to get those wings.
It's it looks awesome, honestly. Moving on, we also have armor variations coming this season. Do you want to
We do.
tell us about
So
it?
the armor variations this season are for the Samurai, the Wulin, and the Outlanders.
Mm.
They'll follow a similar theme to what we
Ooh,
had
they
last
look nice,
season for
actually.
Knights and Vikings. So that is to say, very fine detail, a lot of filigree. We can take a look at some of the customization.
Oh, that looks really
on it.
good.
So
That looks really
nice.
good, actually.
I can't wait to see the. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. So nice.
Most colorful hero
Yeah.
we have,
Oh,
maybe?
yeah.
So good.
I
Yeah.
love how the feathers look.
Dress
That
for
is
Christmas.
nice.
That's it.
Have to start repping up
so
Mars a
good.
little.
So this will be available starting tomorrow.
The shiny armors are
Amazing.
always the best. Ever since
Also
they started
got,
making
the
more
first
shiny
variation
armors,
for the Sohei.
I think the drip
Ooh.
level
Nice. That's
has
cool.
increased
Ooh, just released it.
quite a lot.
Amazing. Well, thank you all very much for coming on the den and breaking it all down for us. Any last words?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. It's been great. Folks, stick around. We've got the full Battle Pass weapons video playing before the next segment. And you don't want to miss the next segment. I promise. It's really good. See you soon.
All right, let's take a look. Going with the purple and silver theme this season, by the looks of things. And the kind of horse-looking figures as well. Surprising they didn't go with snakes though, because it's called the Serpent Sword season. So it's interesting. Hope you guys are doing alright though. Always good to have a stream every now and then. Just to have a direct chat with you guys. Just to see what's going on. I think probably the next live stream will be a big one from For Honor. Because that's when they'll reveal... I think there's a new hero, I think. It'll probably be February. When the new year starts, there'll probably be a new hero. So that'll be a big one. February 2025. This is just kind of like a smaller segment thing in terms of the releases that the game has. They have done a good job with these weapons though. I've been meaning to make a purple type character for a while, so this would actually go well. Curvy weapons this season. Curvy purple horse-figured weapons and shields. New hero on January 23rd. Oh, okay, a bit earlier than I anticipated. I always think February because that was when For Honor was released, so I always think that that's when the year will it will go into the next year. General Z. So this is the new hero skin, I think. Or Zanhu, it looks like. So I think this is going to be the big part of the stream.
Welcome back, Warriors. Join with me today, Sav and Alex. Alex moved. I think I scared her when I said final last words. Sorry about that. But we're here for the modeling deep dive segment for General Joe. I'm super excited to be able to jump into all of this. It's not something we usually do, so it's very exciting. But for the first time today, we have
Yeah.
Sav. Do you want to introduce yourself, Sav?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's my first time. My name is Seth. I've been modeling characters for about 5 years, and right now I'm a character modeler on For Honor. And yeah, I model the General G hero skin.
Amazing. Let's just jump right into it, honestly. So we have our hero skin. It looks so awesome. Why don't we go through like the stages of creation, starting with some concept art, I believe.
Yeah, of course. We
Yeah.
have the concept art. We have some additional images for
Ooh,
the
that looks nice.
high resolution skull, but we'll talk about that a bit
That
later.
looks very
So
nice,
the
actually.
first thing
Yeah, that
first,
is a
we
top-
have our amazing concept art team
Mm.
that creates, of
Top
course,
tier
outstanding concept
armor
art.
for Zan
And
Hu.
you can see right now on the screen the concept art of General G hero skin. The concept art team
Very kind
worked
of royal
really
looking.
hard on with these language shapes
Mm.
just to make this hero unique with scholars. So it's a really cool job. And of course, after that, after the concept is done and it's validated, it gets right to us, to our modelers department.
Okay, cool. And that phase is known as the blockout phase, I believe.
Yeah, it's the first stage of creating character
Okay.
in 3D. So as soon as the concept is done, we're moving to the 3D stage.
Mm.
And the first stage is the blockout stage that you can see right now on the screen. Right now, it doesn't have any detail.
Mhm.
You have only the, let's say, primary shapes where you can see the silhouette of a character, this first impression, how you're gonna see it from the game camera. So this is a really quick job just to see how the armor works,
Mm.
how all of the kind of small armor pieces, shoulder pad, chest armor works. So, and yeah, this is this
Really cool.
that's it.
So essentially, like you're getting the concept art, then you're putting it in like the 3D software and like building it essentially with like shapes in like 3D space.
Yeah, we use simple shapes like cubes, spheres, cones. Of course, you have some complex shapes like.
So I think he's going to be the one with
shoulder
the
pads,
serpent sword. That's
banded
what they've
plane,
called the season.
But yeah,
so
the goal is to work with a
I think that
silhouette,
makes sense
with dynamic, and
with
check that the character
everything.
looks good from far, from the game camera, and of course, from all of the angles around. Because of course, with 2D art, you can see the character only in front and the back, and in 3D, we work with 3-dimensional, so we should make sure that it works from all of the angles.
But yeah, that looks
Very
really good.
cool.
The
And,
actual
after
artistic
this, you
picture
start
looks
working
good.
on the details.
Yeah,
that.
details and the high resolution sculpture. Just for the audience, how does this work? I mean, it looks like a clay, and it's just a digital clay.
Mhm.
But the difference is that you have a symmetry here. Oh, that helps a lot, to be
Yeah.
honest. And yeah, on this stage, well, where all of the shapes and the forms are already defined and approved, you're going just zoom in and separate some metal pieces, metal trims, some leather pads, I don't know, the scale on his chest plate. So you have these different ornamentation, I would say, even decoration
Mm.
that you just zoom in and model.
Very
And
cool.
of course, on this stage, on the high resolution sculpture, you can add really small details like small scratches. If you're talking about the metal, some polished parts, maybe just big slashes, but
Mm.
yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, speaking of General G, you can clearly see that it doesn't have a lot of big slashes,
Mm.
big damages. It was in intention just to explain that first of all he's a general.
Yeah.
So of course he's not gonna just charge into battle and you get this damage on his armor, but yeah, it's just small scratches.
Yeah,
as
like
soon-
slight imperfections.
Yeah, just to don't make it really polished.
That kind of
like
dragon
from
scale
the
effect
factory
looks
or,
really good. It's
like
happened on a couple of
bags.
other
Yeah.
characters. They put it on their arm and it always
a bit
looks
scratches.
really, really
just to
nice.
show that it's worn,
Mm.
but at the same time, add some small details.
And as
Very
you're doing
cool.
that, you
The
have to
eye
make
actually
decisions
moves
about
on
which
his
parts
helmet
are
as
really
well.
done
Both
by
eyes are
you,
moving.
by textures, right?
Yeah, that's
Which I don't
a
think
really
that's happened
important
before
thing. You should
on a character where they've had
know
like
what it's gonna
an
be done on the
animal head
texture side. I
moving.
mean, you can see the
kind of
collar
eerie but
part,
cool at the same time.
on his armor, it has the snake skin, but on a high resolution.
Will
sculpture,
definitely be
you
something that we
can't
will
see
be trying
that
out.
this,
So I need to
snake
brush up on my
scale,
Zan Hu.
texture, because this
Gameplay,
stage
I think.
it goes
Get
to
this.
the texture stage. So
Yeah.
you
Played
should
Zan Hu for a
know
while.
on which stage you should model something or sculpt something. So it's tricky, really.
Very cool. I think I want to circle back even just to this image. So like just for clarity, like you're going in once the model is like after the blockout phase, you're going in and you're carving essentially everything by hand.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, normally it's done by hand. We have default brushes, we have our custom brushes for different kinds of
Oh
materials.
yeah, you're
like
right.
I
It
mentioned,
does. Yeah, the Kenza
iron,
hero skin does it as well. Actually,
different metals,
like
leather,
moving hero
cloth.
skins
If you want to
is not a new thing,
some
but in terms of like
part of the leather
those
part, you have
huge
a
eyes, like
brush
that's
just
obviously
to make it sure. But
the new
but yeah,
part
normally it's
thing.
all done by hand.
Wow.
Of course, you can use some alphas. I mean, it's just a black and white image, where the black part is gonna kind of stay. It's not gonna touch, but the white part
Mm.
it's gonna be extruded.
Ah.
So that's kind of you're applying this alpha, extruding, making a bit of a polish, and that's it.
I
And
guess that that contrast is like makes it, I guess, easy in a sense to see like the details. I guess the
Yeah.
fine details if it's literally black and white.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
Nice.
So
Amazing. Do you want to take a look maybe at the eyes? I did think we talked about the eyes. I
yeah,
think.
of course,
Yeah.
yeah. The snake eyes, they're moving. Yeah, I guess we did the same with the Mako skin.
Did.
Yeah, so
Ah, I
it's,
literally just talking about it now.
You have these eyes on the helmet and on the back of his belt.
Mm.
So yeah, looks really cool.
Yes.
It's
The
also
pulsing sword there
the
looks quite cool as
floating,
well.
Yeah,
shawl.
of course, the floating shawl, it's a really cool thing. And the fun fact,
They should
if
just
you
go like
go
all
back
out
the
with one of the hero
high-res,
skins and have it
images, you
like
can
all
see
glowing
that
or
this
something, like make
floating
something
shawl
really
was
crazy,
modeled in
like in the
pose.
future.
So you
'Cause
can add
They've proved that they can
cloth
do a moving hero
simulation
skin,
and
so they
just
should do something that's just crazy.
make it like animation, like
Yeah.
it works with the wind, so it just like a floating around him,
Yeah.
just giving him this aura
Yeah.
kind of around.
Like an ominous feeling almost.
yeah, exactly.
It's very cool. It looks amazing, honestly.
Yeah, thank
did
you. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much. You want to give any shout outs to anyone?
Yeah, of course. It was not only me who worked on this skin. Of course, I want to thank the concept art team, Joe Hodier and Lily, who worked hard on this concept art, and of course, Anina, who modeled the face. We have our texture artist, Aiden, who did all the textures. It looks amazing. We have David, who did the rigging. It's a really long list of names. Yeah, thanks everybody who was involved in this. It's
Welcome, guys
it's
who've
super
just
cool job.
joined.
Thank you.
Have you missed anything
Looks,
important?
looks
So
incredible,
far,
again,
we've just
fine
covered the
work.
hero
Yeah,
skin
thank you.
for Zanhu.
Well, thank you both
And they
for
just
coming on
showed
and,
basically
breaking all
the
that
contents
down.
of what this is going to be.
Folks, stick
covered,
around. We've got
this
testing
stream.
grounds coming up next. But right before, you'll be able to see the
So not
full
much.
Legacy Pass weapons gallery. So enjoy.
Yeah, basically just I think the hero skin's going to be the main thing, and then the testing grounds next. So the next section and the one that's just been done are probably the main parts of the stream. Looks like we're also getting some gold weapons as well. This is the legacy pass? So these were previously released in the game, and now they're coming back. So I think these look like they were the season that Griffin came out. So it says there, bottom right, Year 4, Season 4. And for those that didn't see the beginning of the stream, they're also re-releasing the effects that came out with Griffin, which are like the metallic eagle helmets with the wings, which look pretty cool. I've got both of those on various characters on my account. Welcome Lottie000. Glad you like the videos and you don't miss any of them. Welcome from Spain. Hola. Machine Infernal. Oh, thank you, man. We do try and do what we can. Talking of machines, though, this season, so this Legacy Pass is all about like a machinery kind of. It was like a machinery season, I think, which was kind of interesting. So if you want to make like a machine-themed character with cogs and stuff, then this is your chance to regain those effects. Welcome, Burn, as well. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, a lot of new stuff this season. They always re-release a previous season's weapons when they release also a load of new weapons. So you get like twice as much now, which is quite cool. Because the game is on year 8 currently, or going to be on year 8 soon. Well, technically no, it is year 8. 2017 it was released, so yeah, we're now in the 8th year pretty much. No new hero though, unfortunately, but I believe a new hero will be coming next year around sort of January, end of January/February, where we'll go into year 9. But yeah, currently this is year 8, season 4. I have not done any previous research into this stream. This is pretty much just like a last minute thing, so I don't really know what I'm going to see, so I'm going to be reacting to it pretty raw. No idea what the testing grounds is going to be on, so that could be interesting.
Welcome back, Warriors!
All right, here we go.
We're excited to have you here, and joining me on the couch for this segment is your Lord and Savior, JC, is back on the couch. Welcome, JC.
Hello, hello.
Cool.
Again, I was singing in the back there, and I was
I
in the
know.
chat, and people did the summoning ritual,
They did, I saw it.
calling for my name multiple times, and I
Right.
just show up.
It's kind of it's like a Beetlejuice thing. You gotta say it at least 3 times,
yeah, at
but if
least
you
3
get to
times,
like
then I
60,
show up.
that also works too. So, but
Yeah.
you're here.
That's great,
But thank
yeah.
you for being here, JC.
Very happy to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here, and we're excited to talk about
The main
testing
man
grounds
himself.
for Year 8, Season 4. So let's dive into it. What can we say about
Yeah, well then,
PG?
first up, I just want to put a little word out there that we have the Warden that is getting reintegrated from the feats that we had last time.
Woo,
They're
nice.
coming in. They soon we'll get into the details during the patch show segment, but just yes, Warden's coming in.
I don't think I
the
even
other thing I want to
tried the,
address very
previous
quickly
Warden
because it's not
rework,
super
so
obvious to
I-
people.
Sure.
I've been seeing a lot of
Definitely know
chatter
that.
online about it, about how what about the anti-gank testing grounds, right?
Mhm.
And so we're working on it. Like
Mhm.
as you know,
I
we're
did.
working on it.
Yeah.
It
Anti-gank
is
testing grounds.
a lot of work to go through to make sure
Interesting.
that we apply the changes to every
have been
hero,
doing
test everything
lot of that
out,
recently.
make sure everything's good. So it's taking a little bit of time. It's normal. So it'll come eventually.
Nice.
But,
Hey,
I
welcome, John.
just can't give a date right now because it is
Welcome to the stream.
quite involved. It's a big change to the game, so I want to make sure we get things right.
Okay, sounds good.
But let's start to look at testing grounds this time for Peacekeeper. So
Ooh, nice.
what we're doing really this
Peacekeeper
time, it's
feats.
Peacekeeper feats only. Again, we're only doing one hero. We ran into some issues last time when we did Warden when we were reintegrating. Things were more complicated, so we're sticking it to a single hero this time. We're doing Peacekeeper, so it's a little bit different. Maybe in the future it'll change, but for now, like we're really focusing on a single hero again for its Peacekeeper.
Okay.
So basically, the idea that we have for feats for Peacekeeper is we want to focus on bleed synergies and also improve her group fight ability a little bit. So doing that through feats is interesting. Her 1v1 ability is already very, very, very strong.
Right.
You can see playing at high levels, and with the change we've done with Dagger Cancel, which is fully unreactable, including to, Bean and Blitz and these
Top
guys that are like,
players.
hey, look, I see the world
Yeah,
that
her
like
1v1
240 FPS or
game is
something.
pretty strong.
So
So yeah, just her feet
With
being
this, it's fully
changed by the looks
unreactable
of
to
things.
everybody, so that's great. So in 1v1s, she's good. When you're playing Dominion in situations of 1v1s, she's very good. However, she suffers a little bit more in group fight situations. Her
Right.
peel is amazing, right? With front dodge heavy. We've recently buffed her a little bit so that she has a much better flow, so that's great.
Mhm.
But then we're looking at at her feet specifically to kind of enhance those aspects to make her just a bit better in those situations
Sure.
in 4v4 so that she has more of a role. So let us go over what the changes
All right.
are.
Let's see him.
So our first feat, tier 1, crossbow wound, right? So it fires a crossbow bullet at the target. Basically, it's her tier 3
Mhm.
that we moved to tier 1, right?
Nice.
So cooldown is still very low at 30 seconds. It deals 5 damage plus 10 bleed, and replaces Bounty Hunter. So really the idea here is that you're using this feat, shooting people from afar, all of a sudden, all your heavies against that person are unblockable while they're bleeding, right? So it being a tier 3 was interesting because it gave her like that bit extra ability to kind of like get that going, but it came in a little bit too late. And so we wanted to make sure that she got that ability really, really, really early on.
Sure.
It also helps a bit in ones, but it's a bit more reactable. You can dodge it. So this is a projectile. It doesn't deal a ton of damage. Bleed can be cleansed and healed and whatever, so you're okay. But the idea really is here to enhance her ability to apply pressure in group fights and contribute. We'll see like how we address her other issues as to like her damage is too low and stuff, but that's kind of how it goes.
Now, quickly about that too, just because in case there's some people who maybe don't play Peacekeeper as much, why is it so important that like Peacekeeper's targets are bleeding?
Yes, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So Peacekeeper has a passive ability where when her opponent is bleeding, all of her lights become enhanced, so that's already great.
Yeah.
But also all of her heavy finishers and the second hit of her zone attack become unblockable.
Yeah.
And it gives her an immense amount of pressure where she can throw out a relatively safe fight against most people, then go into a heavy finisher that can be soft feinted to dagger cancel, that can be soft feinted to dodge, that can be soft feinted to guard break, and that if it lands, because it's unblockable, like you can't really block it, if it does land, you get another bleed guaranteed. So a lot of her options lead back to bleeding. So once you've got somebody bleeding, you can. There's a lot of pressure she can apply to keep bleeds going and going and going, so that she keeps that ability there. So really, the important part here
you
is
can do 0 to
having
100
this allows her to
in
apply
1v1s
more pressure
when Peacekeeper
externally.
has someone
When her
bleeding.
attacks are all
because of
blockable, you
the
can just block in her direction. You
pressure.
don't really
It's
care.
crazy.
With this, it works quite well.
Nice. Awesome.
So now, feat 2. Brand new feat, Bleed Armor. So it's a passive. Whenever you hit a bleeding opponent, it gives you a 20% defense buff for 5 seconds. It cannot be reapplied while it's active. So the important part here, if I hit somebody that's bleeding, I get the buff for 5 seconds. If I hit them again while the feat is active, it doesn't refresh. So you have to hit somebody
I think I'm
again.
definitely going to be
after
trying
those
this
5
out, to be
seconds
honest,
has elapsed.
because
That's why we're able to give it
I
like
do
a
like
slightly
playing
better
PK. We're not
numbers
bad
here.
with
That's
the
good. There's no cooldown and replaces Fiat Lux. So
Played her a
really
lot when the
here,
Ezio
again,
skin
the
came
idea
out, so
here
that
is
could
making
be
sure that because
brought out
it's
again.
easier to bleed opponents in group fights now because you have crossbow. With this, when you manage to hit them with you, like when you're peeling, you're doing something, then it gives her a bit more survivability in group fights, which is an area where, like, because she's not a hero that has like massive dodge cancel, that sort of stuff. We like her. We like the way she functions right now, without needing all those dodge cancels, without needing those big unblockable bashes and stuff. But she does need a bit more safety in group fights.
Right.
She's pretty squishy, so it really helps in that situation where 20% defense buff, even though it's only 5 seconds and it's 20%, it still is interesting enough. It works well enough that it gives her a big buff in group fights.
Nice.
Next up is the
Yeah.
really different one and pretty spicy, and I think some people are going to be a bit worried when they see it. But
yeah, it looks like it's only for PK at the
Just
moment.
bear with us.
But they might give it to a future
It's
character.
Deflect
potentially.
Expert. It is a passive, and I will read the description, which is you can now deflect attacks without
What?
matching their attack direction.
Ah,
Replaces crossbow that we moved
okay.
to, right? So what
This
this
is
means
interesting.
is that whenever you dodge with Peacekeeper, if you manage to deflect, like no matter the direction of the attack, you will deflect it if you would deflect it. So normally when you,
Wow.
just to make sure people kind of understand, I'm sure everybody knows, but still to get back into it just to make sure.
Sure.
Essentially, deflects are, every single assassin in the game has an ability called deflect, which is that when you dodge, they can block and kind of like dive under a little bit an attack when it hits, if it would have hit you at a certain timing, and then you get a really good follow-up. For Peacekeeper, it guarantees her a little bleed, which chains, so it's really, really good. And so, but you have to match the attack direction properly. So because it is, it can be like a bit hard. You have to make sure you dodge in the right direction and stuff. It also makes it a bit like difficult because front dodges don't have invulnerability. So because it is, it's a lot easier to deflect attacks from dodge at front. As when you're dodging inside, there's like a 2-frame window to deflect it. So it's pretty tricky. It's known as like one of the more difficult things to do in the game.
Yeah, I guess you could option
so with
select in
this,
some
You deflect
situations
in
with this.
every single stance, no matter what direction you dodge.
I feel like it would be useful
Dodge
against
front, there's a side attack coming, you'll
undodgeable
deflect it,
attacks.
as if it was a top attack, right?
I think that's where
so
it's going to be strong.
I know that this seems extremely strong, and there's probably people right now in chat, because I don't see it right now, unfortunately, that are going, oh, this might be way too strong, because then It invalidates some of the blue-orange mix-ups that we have. We've looked into it, but part of why this is a testing round as well is we want to make sure
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
gets like tested deeper. But in our experience, there's anytime you could have thrown an undodgeable, which is like when deflect is like usually the most active. There's other options that you would have that could beat the dodge attack. You can like do a heavy feint. So we kind of want to have players have to change
Yeah, and
the way they
undodgeable lights
approach
as
a
well.
fight against a peacekeeper
I kind of had
when
Kyoshin
she has
in
that
mind.
tier 3 unlocked.
Good counter to
right?
to
But
Kyoshin.
the
This would
other
be.
thing that this does is
maybe
what we
Black
can
Prior.
have Max put up right now is this super interesting part here where if the feed is not on, right, you can't really do that. But when the feed is on, this is a sort of situation that can happen that can trigger, right? So our game designer Nuke Francis, that everybody kind of a lot of people know, he's been here a bunch of times like in the past, really was pushing towards for this. It's a change that he was pushing for.
So the externals.
Where the idea
actually,
here
that's a
is
good point.
Peacekeeper externally now is a massive threat because when that feed is unlocked, she can externally deflect
I get it now.
trajectories. And so, as
I
you
get
can
why
see
they've
here,
done
that
this.
JJ is locked on to a different, to one of Peacekeeper's allies, and is throwing a side attack, right? So normally this would not be, it would be super hard to deflect because you would have to dodge in the direction of the attack.
Of course, this
Now you
won't
can just
do
front
anything
dodge,
to unblockable
she'll
attacks
deflect
externally. though.
properly and be able to punish it. So it's
So a character like
really an
Raider, you won't be able to
anti-group
counter in
fight
this way.
tool. Can be really, really disruptive. Can be very strong. It's something that's really interesting that we're really pushing towards
Yeah.
Peacekeeper again to help her contribute in those group fights.
Yeah, that's
Remember,
interesting.
you manage to deflect, you get a free bleed, pressure comes on afterwards,
That's
right?
right.
It does. The important thing to know is that it doesn't interrupt the attack that the JJ does. Depending on if you on when you manage, there's
I
situations.
guess in a
where
way, Varangian and
potentially
other
the
characters with
deflect
full
follow-up
blocks can
might
counter externals
interrupt the
like this,
attack
so it's
before
not
it
like the
lands on
first
intended
time
target.
this has ever been done.
That's
It's
all
just like
depending
the
on
assassin's
when
version
when
of it.
the hitbox, the weapon retrieves come online, that's all that sort of stuff. So it's very situation dependent, but generally you'll still be able to get damage, and you'll be able to get like into really good situations here.
Nice. Nice.
That is tier 3 feat in the testing.
That looks like a lot of fun. Not
It's a
gonna
lot
lie.
of fun.
Wonder what the
right?
tier 4 is
And
going to
then
be. Should be
Tier
interesting.
4, induced fear. So it's a passive here. Which is
Passive.
really important, right?
Yeah.
And basically it gives Peacekeeper a 20% debuff to all enemies within a 6-meter radius.
Okay, quite
and
similar
replaces
then.
Fear
to
itself.
Fear
So it's
itself.
basically Fear itself
Mm-hmm.
with a much
Should be
lower
strong though.
debuff,
Should be
Yeah.
good.
but it's permanent. As soon as you unlock it, you get that AoE
Oh, it's
around
passive.
you.
I didn't even realize that actually.
It's there for the rest
Okay.
of the game.
That's even stronger.
So part
That's
of
really
why
good.
we went
That is
with
really good.
this,
That's
right,
that's
is that
better, I think, than Fear
Peacekeeper
itself.
has a problem
Yeah.
right now on live, and we're well aware of it. Like it's discussions we've had with pro players, and we've been looking into it quite a bit. Where
The fact that it's
her
passive
actual
is
issue
actually
is not like,
really, really
it-
nice.
she has really good peel.
'Cause it takes
She has
away
ways
having to think, oh,
contribute
when am I
into
going to
group
activate
fights,
it?
but
All
the
this, blah,
problem
blah,
is her
blah.
damage is too low. damage
Yeah,
is too low
passives
because
are really, really
Every
nice.
time she lands a heavy, she gets a guaranteed
Especially in
dagger.
anti-gank
That
situations.
dagger applies bleed, and so we have to she has to have slightly lower damage on her heavies, and because of
Yeah.
this, she can't really contribute as well into group fights. So this is a way to kind of bypass this. Yes, it's a tier
Definite
4.
buff.
Mhm.
Definite buff,
Can be
guys,
Extremely strong,
for the feats.
and
for
it
those of
applies
you
it.
want
It's
the
a
simple
defense
answer.
debuff to all enemies. So if, like, let's say we're 4 of us in a group fight against one person,
What is Fear itself?
that
Fear
person gets
itself
debuffed,
is,
but
is a tier
everybody
4
deals
feat
50% extra damage
that you
to
can
person.
activate,
It's a
and
debuff
it reduces
on
everyone's
your enemy.
defense
So
by
this
a certain
is
amount.
how Peacekeeper now becomes a massive threat in group fights because her damage goes up, but everybody else's damage also goes up.
Yep.
So before, she has a really hard time contributing to ganks and contributing into those group fight situations. Now, when this is unlocked, it's way better. On top of this, also note, you know it.
I do.
I don't know if everybody
I-
knows it,
I-
but defense, like attack buffs, defense debuffs,
Right.
do not affect revenge gain.
Mhm.
So if I hit somebody with a 24 damage attack, it feeds 24 revenge, more
Right.
or less. But if I have a 20% defense debuff on that person,
Mhm.
I feed 24 revenge, but I deal like 24 plus 20%. So it's like 29, 30-ish,
Yeah,
damage, right?
Yeah.
So this is where like this is
2.4%
super
times 2.
strong because it'll enable Peacekeeper to participate in ganks, to enhance ganks,
Mhm.
and to make things a lot better. And because it's passive, she just needs to be around. She'll contribute, but she just needs to be around to really help push that further. So that's really, really, really good. It's super strong, really interesting, different design from what we've had before.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
the first time that we have a permanent AoE
Right. Right.
that's always there. I want to see feedback from players. Again, like make sure you give us our feedback, because one of the things we were looking at when we were working on this feat is, well, that effect is always there.
Yeah.
So is it going to be annoying? Is it going to be distracting for players? Please tell us. It's one of the things that's why we're going to testing grounds.
The only thing is with testing grounds is that
But that's what's super interesting. for us.
everyone will
Again,
be
we're
playing
really
Peacekeeper,
pushing for
so
Peacekeeper to have
you probably
that
won't
sort of role.
get to
I
use
can't wait for
her
the
abilities
next
on
testing
externals
grounds
and
as
things.
Well,
but
we
Oh,
have
yeah.
more
Never
cool
know.
things coming. That's great. But this is the thing how. The other thing I want to address super quickly, because again, it's something that I've been seeing a lot online as
Sure.
I lurk on Reddit way too much. I've actually been on the rants subreddit once, and I saw
It's a
somebody
dangerous
said,
place
like,
to go.
somebody was like, "Oh, JC, I know you're reading this." Yeah, I read it.
Oh no.
So not to say I'm not going to go and comment on Reddit or whatever, but that's how it is. But I know players want us to have a lot more testing grounds,
Yeah.
a lot more stuff in testing grounds,
Mhm.
a lot more stuff in our patch notes. And specifically for testing grounds, the amount of work, even though this seems like, yeah, it's just for feats, right?
Yeah.
Feats is by far the most difficult thing to do.
Right. Right.
Right? Whenever we're creating new heroes, feats is always where we have the most iteration, the most discussions, the most amount of work. There's a lot of stuff involved. There's a lot more VFX involved in them as well. There's a lot more like teams involved in making sure feats are there and they work.
Yeah.
There's a lot more code needed as well. So there's more support needed for feats specifically. And even if when we just do hero reworks, right? The thing is, the data's in the game, but it's not as simple as just, hey, I click and it goes live.
Right.
We have to reintegrate it. We have to like make sure the data is there correctly. We have to adjust bots. We have to redo a pass secure. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that's involved into putting the data that was in a testing ground and making it go live.
Right.
It always takes time. We want to make sure we do it right. We want to make sure we don't like induce like a ton of bugs or whatever. We also have to take our time figuring out once the testing ground ends, we get results from surveys that I hope everybody that's watching is answering when you get them.
Yeah.
But we get that. We have to parse all the feedback, all the stuff to go, what do we do? How did players appreciate this? What did they like? What did they dislike? Where did that go? So, yes, I'd love to be able to go, hey, we're doing a testing grounds, and then like a week later it's on, right? Or the next TU it's on. But the reality is that if we want this to have the highest amount of quality that we can have possible, we have to take our time. And
Right.
yes, I wish it was faster, and I know players want it. Wish it was faster,
Sure.
and I know players would like us to do like a lot more testing on, like do like 4 or 5 in a season, right? But the amount of planning and the amount of work that goes into just building a testing grounds is big. So that's why like I just want to make sure like to give a bit of an idea of the amount of work that it takes to get to
Right,
this
right.
point, so that you don't build up yourself to have like crazy expectations, which is like, well, yeah, we all love this, but it's just like not something that is feasible.
Yeah.
Unless we have everybody working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then
But we don't want that now.
we don't want that. Right? We all
Yeah.
like to have a family, and
Yeah.
you know, so that's what.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that's it for this.
and also, I mean, too, like, and feats. This isn't not even something we were able to do before.
Just the
but
one.
Now,
That's
too,
the
so
thing,
this
it's
is
the
like
second
also-
one.
quick testing
Right,
rounds this
right,
time.
So yeah, it's just
Yes, that's great.
it's a lot of new things to try.
But,
But
I
big
feel
stuff.
like
But
next
it's
year
very
we'll
cool.
have a
We
bit
get some
more
really fun ideas like
stuff to
this,
cover.
and yeah, we hope you all enjoy that. So don't forget,
Next year is in the next
testing
season.
rounds will be live next week. So play it,
Next week.
give us your feedback, and yeah, really just let us know how it is. We're very excited for that. Starting to it's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we'll send this release.
I'm
tomorrow.
sorry, it's tomorrow, folks.
Tomorrow.
I don't know.
Usually,
because
here's the thing. Usually, testing grounds are not the first week.
yeah,
For this time, we're able to make an exception.
Right.
It's on week 1.
that's right. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you all for that. But stick around, folks, because we also have some patch notes to discuss. Yes, so we're gonna, and you're gonna want to hear these for sure.
So I think
But in
that also
between,
means that
we have
the
a
hero
fun
skin will
video
be
that's gonna
tomorrow as
show
well.
all the full
So
armor variations
that'll be nice.
for the season. So enjoy that, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So yeah, everything's going to be tomorrow. Pretty quick. All right, here we go with the remaining armor for this season. Looking very, very shiny. She looks nice. I think Genze's looks a little bit better though. Shinobi's armor, don't know. Shinobi never really gets amazing armor, to be honest. I wish they'd make him a really cool one. do like the shininess though. He did a good job with the effect. The dragon scale does look good, but it looks better when it's like a shiny metallic armor rather than like a material. So like the hero skin looks good. But yeah, so yeah, like there, when it's on Tiandi, when it's actually like a shining armor, it's kind of similar to like a chainmail slash plate. So I think that looks much better. So yeah, Tiandi, Shaolin, Nusha, all these look good. As a little bit of a spoiler though, guys, I might have an idea for another Zhang Zhong outfit. It might be Santa themed, Christmas themed, so you can imagine what I have in mind for that, but I've always wanted to make an outfit along those lines, so keep your eyes peeled for a future vid potentially. Oh, Medjay looks good actually. Medjay looks good there from the Outlanders. And Ocelotl for sure. I think Ocelotl's got the best upgrade. So that there, I think that is the best armor set they've released out of all those. So yeah, the Outlanders and the Wulin have done well this season. It would be cool actually. I've seen the new Gladiator film. So yeah, it would be cool if they did a Gladiator skin for Centurion.
Welcome back once again,
I would definitely
Warriors. Thank you
support
for
that.
sticking around. We hope you enjoyed those armor variations. They are looking sick, so it's very cool. JC, thanks for sticking around as well.
I'm still here.
You're still here.
You're
I
stuck
know.
with me,
I know.
unfortunately.
Hey, that's good for everybody, though.
I think chat likes it, but I don't know about you.
I enjoy our
Perfect,
talks.
that's
It's always very like enlightening. Again, I've been working now for like 6 years on this game, and I still learn. I feel like I'm learning all the time. So
Amazing.
It's great talks. I love it. So good stuff. But we have some patch notes to
Yes,
get
we
into
do.
today. These are little ones.
Little
They're
patch
just
notes,
a
couple of things.
couple things.
But before we get started,
yes.
I was just informed because I unfortunately I can't read. I'm gonna have my phone out to read chat while we're here. Just to make sure it's clear,
Oh yeah.
Peacekeepers tier 4 does not stack.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and as like kind of buffs debuffs work, the biggest one always takes effect over everybody.
Right.
So, if you have 4 Peacekeepers, it's not gonna do 80%.
There's no 80%.
Yeah, it won't go to 80%. But the other thing that I forgot to mention, but I
Yeah.
just here is like
You could combine it with an
you
attack
get
buff though.
diminishing returns the more Peacekeepers you have.
Mhm.
Because at some point, like that tier 4 only is gonna get applied once. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of thought that went into behind like
Yeah.
how do we kind of like help people to go like you want to have 1 Peacekeeper, maybe not 2 or 3. So
Right. Gotta think about the team comp right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Right.
I know people are like going, hey, looks pretty strong, and so you'll see how it pans out. But it's pretty good.
Mhm.
For
Alright,
those of
so
you
now
just
patch notes, right?
joining,
Patch
there isn't a
Let's
new
go
hero,
towards patch
but there
notes.
is a new hero
A
skin,
couple of
which
things
is
to talk
for
about today.
Zanhu.
So
Just a few. Yeah.
first
who
up,
is the person that
Warden. So
wields
Warden feat
the
rework is in,
serpent
as I
sword.
mentioned earlier.
Yes.
I'll go through it
For
super
those that,
quickly. Not
yeah,
much
don't
has
know.
changed from the testing
Mhm.
grounds, honestly. A lot of the feedback we got was pretty positive, so that's good.
Nice.
Really, only tier 2 changed. The rest is pretty much the same. So
Mhm.
tier 1,
We'll have to check
replacing body
this
count
out
by
though
death
with
toll,
Warden.
which
We haven't
gives
played
3 health and 3 stamina every
Warden
time
in
you
a
kill a
while as
soldier.
well.
One of the things that
He's
I've
a
been seeing
very
online
strong
with people like,
1v1er who
why
needs
isn't this
more
on every single person
4v4
that has
stuff,
body
so
count, right?
Right.
this will
Body
be an
count
interesting
was
one.
like kind of like this before. It was way too strong with very specific heroes. So Warden
Yeah.
does have pretty good lane clearing ability with a good zone attack with big trajectories on his heavies, but it's not an infinite chain. You have to stop a little bit in between each hit. So it's not like some heroes that like Conqueror, for example, back in the day, could just like light, and just like clear out the entire lane, be at full stam, full health constantly
Right,
with
right.
very little downtime. Heavies are a bit slower. So we're confident in giving this to Warden specifically. Also because Warden like is one of the most played heroes. Most likely because it's the hero that everybody kind of gets by default. So a lot of people like start with Warden, play with Warden, and with this, it also kind of teaches you to it's actually a pretty good deal to go into the lane and do stuff.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that we've kind of noticed where players that are starting to play, sometimes it's not super clear like what should I be doing? Should I be going to capture a point? Should I go into the minion lane? So we want to help guide them a little bit to go, hey, look, there's a benefit to you going into the lane and killing.
Right.
Minions. So that's part of that as well. Feat 2, Tier 2 is a Fiat Lux replaced by Enfeeble. So that's the one that got nerfed. So when you hit an opponent with a shoulder bash, you reduce their attack damage by 10%. It was way higher in the previous team.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'd rather it be higher in the testing grounds and then we adjust downwards than it's too low and then we have to adjust up. Because when it's too high, it's easy to go, okay, so you look at it and you go, the sweet spot is going to be there.
Yeah.
But when it's too low, and you go higher, when you buff something, it's always a little bit more difficult to figure out what the sweet spot is going to be because it's a lot easier to overshoot. And if you overshoot a buff, it's usually way worse than if you undershoot a nerf, right?
Yeah.
So like it kind of fits a little bit better there, but at 10% we're pretty confident it's pretty good. Tier 3 takedown is now total recovery, so whenever you revive an ally, they return at full health instead of half health.
So
again, like encouraging players to learn how to play the game, how to do these things, you still have second win, right? So players that are like, takedown is not so good. There's perks that do kind of like similar things. Sure. But then if you want to have second win, you can still have second win. There's no problem there. I thought it's good. Not takedown, but total recovery, rather.
Right.
Takedown was kind of a bit weird. And then Catapult for Tier 4 is replaced like Trebuchet. So same as in Testing Grounds, right? Big AoE, no fall-off damage, very, very fast. Time before it lands, 180-second cooldown, so it's good. It felt really good. Testing Grounds, honestly, even when we're playing internally.
Very cool.
It's a much better catapult. But again, we don't want to have that on every single hero that has catapult. Because like there's cases where it's like we want to have players that they have like different choices, right?
Yeah.
So there's other knights that are gonna have catapult and have other feats that might feel better. But then if you have like too many, like it's weird to say, but if all three choices are too good, then there's a lot of like decision paralysis that comes in. If you know what you know what's good, what kind of fits. So it's good to have people to be able to customize their builds and stuff, and that's super interesting. But we want to have a bit more uniqueness to these feats as well. So that's the direction we're taking for this.
That's super cool.
That's it for Warden. But next up we have Sohei.
Whoa.
So, there's some buffs going to Sohei now. We're going to keep an eye on Sohei as well in the future. There might be more buffs coming if they're necessary. But first up, opener
Do
heavies.
think
rather
he
gain
needed
unentered
a
dual
buff,
stance
to be
on
honest.
MS, so that's armor.
I think this
Very,
is very
very
welcome.
requested change. It should help Sohei actually throw heavies in there, right? They're slow on purpose. We wanted to have the hero have a heavy feel. That's why a lot of his attacks are super slow.
Gain souls and a
because we wanna have,
successful
like, you
bulwark
get the feeling
counter. I didn't know that.
because he's the biggest character in the game. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So we want to have that heavy feeling, not like
It's pretty niche.
too snappy.
Learn something
But
every day.
because of this, those opener heavies were not as effective as they should have
Guess I don't
been.
really play Soho
Same
that much
for
to
Bad Monk,
have
which
noticed.
is,
I haven't played him for,
his neutral zone attack.
well, since he was
Right, so
released, I think.
gains
I think I
unentered
played
dual
him for
stance
about a
from MS.
week or two after he
That
was
zone
released
attack
and
is
then
super
didn't go
strong,
back to
right?
him. But
Right.
It gets armor really quickly. It has
It's,
100
it was
MS
cool.
of GB vulnerability, which is
Cool
like
concept.
super good as well. So there's a lot of situations where like that is very strong. So that's great. We wanted to have like that attack be like one of the cornerstones of Sohei to be able to go, because again, zone attack goes into either light or heavy soul attacks. So because of this, you want to be able to use that zone attack quite often. Softens the guard break as well. There's like a lot of really good stuff.
They're really good, yeah.
You land a guard break. Hey, let's go. We get three souls. So that's
souls.
great. The other thing that we're also doing is that you also gain a soul whenever a soul attack trades on the same frame as an opponent's attack. So if I throw an attack at you and you throw an attack at me and we hit on the exact same frame, so he would not get a soul for that hit. Now he does. It's a bit of a bug fix, but it really helps. It doesn't help in those situations. You can also no longer gain souls on a successful bulwark counter by a Blackfire. So that's another big thing here that was kind of a bug that we're fixing. And there's something else that's not listed here. That's in the written patches we're gonna on the website, but I need to add because it is a big thing. We've also increased the rotation speed and the travel distance of all of the soul attacks. So you can not target, you can target swap them and hit people a lot more reliably with them. Like there was something, it was like a bit of a last second change that we were able to fit in. And unfortunately, didn't get to this, but that's the big changes to Soleil right now. Like I said, I know players might want more.
Mhm.
We're gonna see where this kind of lands. See how we can address the rest of the. We know, and I mean, I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People are dissatisfied with a bit of the clunkiness, the difficulty in accessing chains
Mhm.
and going to where you want to go. We're keeping an eye on this. I'm not saying we're going to do anything about it like right now,
Yeah.
but it's things that we're keeping in mind that we're looking at. Want to see how this pans out and see
Feels my
where
camera is
we
kind of
need
in the
to
way of
push the
Soho
hero
there.
forward
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah, and internally this
Maybe
feels
if
a
I
lot,
move a bit
lot
more
better.
Yeah,
this
it is a
way,
lot better.
it might
It's
look
a lot
like I'm
easier to
actually
control those attacks. And I know
part of the
Andrew-
character.
Andrew, like, I'm calling him out because I have
Call
to
Nate.
call out
Call
Andrew. 'Cause
Andrew.
he doesn't- Andrew cannot come in here. I love to call him out and just make fun of him a little bit. So that's it. So that's it for
Can't really
Soleil.
do it because my
Good changes.
my
Honestly,
thing's on a delay.
I'm happy to see them.
Yeah,
and
very
it's
cool.
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Next up, we have Lawbringers.
Oh. Oh, what's
Fine.
this?
Show you
I
guys
see?
what they look like
Finally,
What
anyway.
is
right?
this?
We now have Lawbringers roll.
Yes.
Bring her again.
Super
We
happy.
I swear
did
he
it!
was just
We're able
had
to get
We
it in,
did it,
right?
chat.
some
Yes.
changes
So
made.
awesome. So new moves, 2 new moves actually.
Yeah.
Precise jurisdiction and final jurisdiction. So you do them by doing
During a
into,
front
like, your
dodge.
heavy
Mhm.
stand space or left right top.
Ah,
So
okay. So
what
not
I want
the
to make
front
sure
bash.
is clear here, right? Is a lot of comments that have been seen online from players were like, "Oh yeah, so why don't they just put impale, right? You do
Yeah.
front dodge into heavy, you impale people," or that's like it often revolved around this.
Mhm.
And so the problem with doing that is that Lawbringer has an ability that's quite unique. Very few heroes are able to do this, which is canceling the recovery with neutral attacks, with
Yeah.
lights and heavies from neutral. The problem is that animation wise, when we were doing that, we were looking at it because I remember looking at it like a while ago.
Mhm.
Whenever a Lawbringer attacks from neutral, you can have a look in game today if you want, because even once this goes live, you'll see it. But whenever like Lawbringer attacks, like for most of his neutral attacks, he plants a foot before the swing starts,
Right.
and so applying like the extra range when you would do like a front dodge light or a front dodge heavy,
Mhm.
because it went to neutrals, to the openers, like it would like plant his foot and then start to slide.
Yeah.
And it looked so bad.
Mhm.
And so we wanted to have a good pass of realization on it, and we worked with the animation team to adjust the lower body animations to make sure that it didn't look like, oh look, he's sliding like creatures like butter.
Played
like
quite a
roller
lot
skates or something.
of
He's rolling
Lawbringer
around
recently
the battlefield.
with
So
the
we really
Saint
tried to
14
adjust this so that it
update
looks
for
a lot more
Halloween.
natural.
Mhm.
It
But
took
I
a
haven't
bit
really
longer
played
than
him since, 'cause I
expected
played him
because we wanted
loads.
it to,
I
to look
think
just right.
People
And also
had enough
keep
of
the
my Lawbringer.
ability to do front dodge,
But
side light.
he's a fun
front
character,
dodge,
and
side
he's
heavy,
very strong actually
not
in anti
lose
ganks, which I
any
didn't
of what
expect.
Lawbringer currently has. So
It's got
this is
really
the
good
best
trajectory
solution that we
on his
have.
side heavies.
And then it doesn't change the balancing of the hero one bit,
Mhm.
except that it adds a roll catcher, right? And the roll catcher is super important to have. On Lawbringer, like you pop revenge, everybody rolls away. What am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that is absolutely necessary on the hero. The last one that doesn't have one
Every
at
character
all
should have a
is
roll
Conk.
catch.
We're looking at Conqueror.
Yeah.
Nothing to announce right now, but just like we know. But at least Lawbringer now has this. And
Oh, there you
gets
go.
to
Someone
keep
asked.
the uniqueness of his moveset.
Conk.
It's also like a
Yeah,
major
he's just
part
mentioned
of Lawbringer's
Conk is
mix-ups.
going to get a roll
Of being able
catch.
to do front dodge into
I feel like
side
that's
heavy,
going to be a
front
forward
dodge into
dashing
side light,
heavy.
to catch dodge attempts, to catch like all these
That would
little
be
things.
my
So
thought
it
on
was
that.
really important to us to keep that kind of
Yeah.
feeling there. And to have
Conk
that.
were to get a
On top of that, there's 2 other
roll
small
catcher.
buffs, right? So top heavy opener now deals 25 damage up from 23, and sides do 24 up from 22. So that ups Lawbringer's damage curve a little bit, but they're also there to compensate for the fact that a lot of the times when you do a light parry into an impale, you hit a wall, you do a top heavy into like a guarantee, like little light
Yeah.
afterwards. Like for you to get full damage, you actually needed to do like a long arm. And
What
get
do
all
I
that
think
stuff
about
going. It
Shaolin?
didn't feel super good. You wasted a lot of
Good
stamina.
character,
So
strong
to get
character.
that damage curve like at a
in
more
both
normal level, to get people,
1v1
yeah,
and
someone
4
in
versus
fail and
4.
boss and that sort of stuff. We had to increase that damage
In
curve a
4
little
versus
bit,
4, he's
so
stronger
that it
in
felt
niche
better.
situations
It
because of his
means that
feats. They're
Lawbringer's
quite
damage curve from neutral
sort
is
of
a
particular.
bit higher, not
Um,
necessarily from top.
but yeah,
because you
solid
don't normally
character, I'd
get
say.
that attack
I'd
outside of when you do
say
a
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
But from
A
the
tier,
sides, it's a little
mid
bit
A
higher
tier for Shaolin.
because you get that guaranteed light afterwards. But it's something that we wanted to see how that pans out and like kind of like adjust Lawbringer like a little bit higher up for that.
Mhm.
So with these changes, that's probably the end for Lawbringer for a little while, right?
Yeah.
We
we
had this
He's
plan
had a good year. He's
right,
had a
but we
good
had
year.
this plan, and so it's one of the things that like we could have tried to do all of this
Yeah.
in the testing grounds that would have released today, and
Right.
then with the way we were able to do testing grounds, we would have tested it, and then it would have come out in 3 months. So
Yeah.
instead, we took a more iterative approach
Mhm.
of let's like address issue 1, then issue 2, then issue 3
Yep.
over time, and then yeah, it feels good if you're a Lawbringer main. I'm sure you're ecstatic right now, but kind of like it helps you go into like those steps step by step and get to where you need to go so that you are in a much better position. But now like it's kind of like the full kind of like Lawbringer rework, iterative rework that we wanted to do is pretty much complete. We're probably gonna leave Lawbringer as is for now, unless there's like major bugs or anything that
Yeah.
come up. But that's kind of like the end goal for Lawbringer.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be in a much better spot. I remember looking at the win rates across the board, and Lawbringer, both win rates and pick rates went way up.
Mhm.
And I'm super excited to see this.
Yeah.
The win rates were like relatively low. Now they're a lot more in the normal range, so that's really good.
Mhm.
And it's a good reliable hero. And I know
Yeah,
like
Lawbringer's
when
been
you love
given a lot of
Lawbringer,
love.
You just
love
A
you
lot
just-
of
you
love
love
recently,
justice is what you
so-
love.
Exactly.
All right.
Lawbringer
There's
mains
no
should be
man
pretty
beneath that
happy.
armor. Simply
Yeah.
just
Um,
pure unadulterated
stage.
justice is
And
there. so-
screaming
He's
justice.
he's
too,
definitely in a good
ridiculous.
position.
Also-
really iconic voice lines. But
Oh, it's so good.
all right, so that's it for Lawbringer. So next up we have Hitokiri.
Oh no, here we go.
big
It's a,
Nerf
everyone's
hammer
favorite.
on Hitokiri.
I mean, she's
Um,
she's an interesting one.
So the issue with Hitokiri, we've been looking at it quite a bit, right? Is that Hitokiri's
A lot of
win
people
rate
find
is
her
been
continued heavies an
too
issue.
high.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Across the board, it's too
pretty
high,
good.
right? And then constantly, I know players are having a tough
Less
time
HP
doing
and
it.
less damn,
And
so
there's
straight
a lot
up
of different things that we could have done.
D buff on her there.
The issue that we
Straight up
had
nerf.
with removing specifically armor from Hito is that if you remember, before
She
we
doesn't drain
added
stam
an infinite
and
stamp
less full
armor
movement.
on a lot
Yeah.
of Hito's
Hmm.
attacks, Hito was extremely lackluster.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Like, only really worked
straight up
at
nerf
like
to
super
Hito,
levels, wasn't
which a lot of
super
people should be
good,
happy with.
Felt kind of bad. Like,
She'll
you
still
know,
do
they
the same
don't
damage,
really
though.
Perform.
So
We
damage
added the
hasn't
armor,
taken a
and
hit,
all of a sudden,
but
really
it should be
super
easier to
solid.
kill.
Yeah.
And we can see it in the stats. Like from the moment when we
in
added
simple
armor,
terms.
and then pros started playing with Hito a little bit more, and figuring out like how to participate in
Yeah.
ganks. The win rate started to go up and up and up and up and up, and we're like, okay, so we have to address this. So the way we're addressing it is that we're lowering her HP to 125 from 140, which was super high. It was at 140 because the hero was meant to be a trading hero, really.
Right,
So
right.
that was the idea. We lowered her stamina as well to 120. So again, she's throwing a lot of heavies. She was going to run out of stamina faster. That's another point there.
Move my
Great kick and
character
re-sweep
out the
they
way.
used to drain stamina. They no
camera.
longer do.
Mhm.
So again, it's no longer about having a stamina advantage over your opponents.
Mhm.
And then finally, endless Myria, which is the chain heavies.
Yeah.
They have less forward movement, so it's harder to clip people from the side when you're attacking moving forward. Right. So
I don't know what
you
Shinobi's
address it in
HP
this
is
way,
actually.
because this
Like,
way we get to keep.
It's probably the
identity,
minimum a character
Right.
can have
Of
for
being a
HP.
trader.
So like
But the
120
big
or something.
change is that because of this,
110 maybe.
she's a lot easier to kill. So yes, she's going to trade. Most likely is going to trade unfavorably a lot of the time. Her
Right.
damage is slightly lower on her heavies. There's a lot of like these things that like push her damage curve downwards,
Mhm.
and then having less HP and less stamina will make her have to stop more often, and will also make sure that she trades less favorably. Because if you're at 140 and your opponent's at 120, like eventually you're gonna wear them down, even if you power through with your armor on everything.
Yeah.
At 125, they're gonna kill you before you kill them.
Mhm.
So that's where the big difference is right now. Again, we're gonna still keep an eye on Hitokiri because it's one of
Yeah.
our top performing heroes. I'm expecting her to go down in pick rates and win rates with these changes. It might be a bit heavy-handed. In this case, we had to be heavy-handed because of the stats that we saw.
Yeah.
It was too
Hito
high.
is a character that
We're going
if
with
you're
Makes sense.
very
Next up,
new to the
Ranking
game,
Guard.
you
So
can pick her
another
up
hero
and
that
do
is
well
getting
with
nerfed a
a
little
lot
bit.
easier than other
Sorry, but
characters.
actually, this is like a very, very
Yeah,
big
it's pretty.
requested
It's,
change.
Big one.
So
an easier hero to
the
do well
superior
with.
block window on all of her light attacks. Basically, I said it's on the following, but it's basically on all of her light attacks,
That's
right?
like everything, yeah.
On our opener lights, finisher lights, on Sellsword's Bounty and Sellsword's Valor,
Mhm.
and Yalder Cole Hotekeeper. All of these lights basically have their superior block window standardized.
Okay.
200 ms. It was an experiment that we had to put them at 300 to see how is it if that window is like a little bit bigger, right?
Right.
It makes those superior
Varangian's
blocks
definitely a stronger hero in
and those
force
crushing
for.
counter type of things a lot easier to land.
Yep.
It's easier to
But they
land
haven't
when
done
you're
anything
chains.
with
It's easier to land when you're doing dodge attack, that sort of stuff.
much
So
of it, to be honest. Just the
it was an
Superior Block.
experiment that we did, and at the end of the day, we're able to look at all of our data and stuff, and it's too strong.
Right.
And a lot of players have been saying that Varangian is overtuned, Varangian is overtuned. Understandably, her win rate is not like that above the rest of the pack, but it can be frustrating to play against her, right? So we've had nerfs before with her trajectories. Now we're nerfing this specifically. We didn't want to remove. I know a lot of players have been asking for us to remove that superior block on their side dodge lights.
Yeah.
Looking at how the data works, right? They're very hard to land. Like it's a 2-frame window. Yes, it extends from the dodge because the dodge also has superior blocks. There's like a couple of these situations, but the idea here is really making sure that those windows are standardized first, and then we'll see how that affects the hero further on,
Nice.
and then we'll see if we need to do more changes. We also cannot really change the pin duration when you block somebody successfully with your down stance, because the design of the hero is meant to be that if I block 4 people, I can choose who I'm going to do my follow-up on.
Right.
So because of that, that pin has to be a little bit longer. Because it's a defensive maneuver and stuff, it's a little bit different. That you're not actively pinning somebody and attacking them to pin them. But the other thing to note is that as soon as you throw an attack from after you've blocked somebody, it removes the pin on everybody that was pinned. So it pushes them away right away, and then you get your follow-up on whoever you're attacking. So it's the idea here is that pin is that length, and it is the shortest we can make it for if you block 4 different people. So we did a lot of math on this to make sure it worked. And we're going to keep an eye on a hero. If this is still massively problematic in the future, we'll address it. But right now, with this change at least, it should tone down the hero again quite a bit and make sure that she's not like the crazy must-pick that she seems to be in a lot of lobbies and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then we have Nusha. Best girl Nusha.
Best girl
right?
Nusha. Love
it. This is a bit of a left field. I know some players are going to be super psyched to have this. Small buff to Nusha, but still pretty interesting.
All right.
Right? So her zone attack
Nusha, she's
is now a 2-hit zone
not
attack.
picked that often
first hit
as
is
a character.
500 MS.
She's one
Max,
of, I
you
think
can
someone
play the video,
earlier
we'll
mentioned
go
what is
ahead
the
and
least
go
picked
right.
character. She's
So
probably
the
one of them.
first hit is 500 MS, deals 11 damage. The second hit is 800, deals 24. It can be fainted or
that
soft fainted
is-
into traps. So basically,
is
the main issue with
big buff
Nusha's
for
zone
her.
is that, like, before the buff,
a bit
it's
like,
super slow, right? So it has the best trap.
Peacekeepers
Deals a
zone
lot
now.
of damage, that trap and stuff, so that's great. But it was extremely
Similar to
slow. It's hard
Peacekeepers.
to get people off of you. It's hard to use.
500
It's easier to interrupt and
milliseconds.
stuff. So
Pretty
with that
reactable
zone
though.
being 500 for the first hit, it's a lot
800
better.
milliseconds.
You get into a much better situation after you
okay.
hit with that zone. The trap
is a
works.
nice-
you
that
can
is
do
a
whatever
nice
you want.
buff.
So it's a very, very nice quality of change on Nusha. Really happy. Big props to William on our team who made this change, who championed it, and then the animation team that were able to like do something very, very quickly with this. Like
I
it's
do
not
have a
normal that-
face,
It's not
yes.
usual that we can do something like this. But we
I
had
did
an
do a
animator
face
that was
reveal
free and had a bit of time. And
a year or
we used
two
up
ago.
Nusha, so we
I
were
think
able
2
to
years
push
ago,
that
but I
through.
don't
Really happy.
do
Big change for
face
Nusha
scan that
here.
often.
Makes a quite
maybe I
a bit
should.
of change in how
Maybe it
she
would add a bit
moves,
of
right?
more of a dynamic to the
Pretty
videos, but
Awesome.
yeah.
And then
A lot of
last
setting up
but
and stuff.
not least,
For anyone just
Berserker.
joining,
this is
in
technically
quick
it's a bug
summary,
fix.
there's a new hero skin for
I
Zanhu.
don't know if you're using it.
There
But
is Testing
We
Grounds
finally managed
coming
to
out
fix the
for
dodge unlock
PK.
technique
She's
that
got
can be
her feats
performed
buffed,
during
and
dodge
at
recovery
the moment
times.
we're just looking
So,
at the patch notes.
If you don't know, I'm sure
A lot of
people
buffs
in the
to
chat know. But basically with Berserker,
Lawbringer,
what you could do,
Nusha,
it's hard to do on controller honestly, but it's a bit easier
but
to
there's
do
a
on keyboard.
nerf to
But the way
Hitakiri.
you do is you would do an attack,
I've already
and
forgotten
then
the other characters that I
unlock,
spoke about, but yeah.
wrote
lot of
like
buffs.
turn to the left or to the right or whatever, and then relock and then dodge cancel like super quickly. And what that ended up doing is that Berserker would, instead of like, and you would do a side dodge specifically, right? So Berserker would attack, turn, and then side dodge away from you. And so that gave him like a lot of distance. And not that it was like extremely strong, but it's super annoying to fight against.
Yeah.
So we
this
were able
is,
to fix it on Berserker. So
This
that's
is a
great.
nice change, yeah.
The fix is also applied
happens
on Ephira, but
rarely.
it only partially fixes Ephira
and
because
it's,
there's another small
it's
issue with
just
Ephira
annoying to deal
that
with.
will be
It's not that
fixed
strong,
in
but
the
it's just
next title
annoying.
update. So that I'm happy to
So
say.
this is nice.
Ephira still has it. The timing is a bit more strict. There's like some other things we need to figure out for Ephira. But for Berserker, it's fully fixed. For Ephira, it's partially fixed.
Mhm.
And then we'll be able to have like the full fix in the next level update for Ephira.
Awesome.
I'm super happy. I know a lot of players were getting rightfully very annoyed at this.
Mhm.
It's something that needed to be changed, needed to be fixed. It took us a while to figure out exactly what the problem was. It came about from when we did the change for sticky dodges, if you
Yeah,
were around to
yeah.
know for sticky dodges. So it was a side effect of those sticky dodges, but we managed to really figure out like exactly what the issue was, specifically on Berserker. So I'm super happy that we're able to fix it. And that is all good.
Holy cow. That
That is it for patch notes.
It's a lot. Some good stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
That's some good
Nice.
stuff. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Jason.
I think those
for,
actually, that's
the-
probably one of the
as
better
always,
patch
the
notes, I
in-depth
think. I think
explanation, like
all of
the thought
those
process that goes
changes
into that,
I would agree
and,
with.
huge shout out to the team, all the GDs who are working on these things and realizing them. So, folks, and if you are excited for any of these changes or all of them, you don't have to wait long because all this is going live tomorrow. Tomorrow. So, Warden feats reintegration, the Sohei buffs. The
I will
Nusha buffs,
probably
the Lawbringer, the
doing
thing you've been
the
asking for
Xanadu
years.
skin first.
Tomorrow
I
is
think
the
that'll
day,
probably
and
be the
some,
most
let's
interesting
say,
thing
pretty well-deserved
for me,
Hito and
so
variety nerfs.
Stay
So
tuned for that.
all of that
video.
tomorrow. So, yeah, don't miss all of that. So, amazing stuff. Thank you again, JC.
A lot of people were thinking it was going to be Tiandi. I thought it was
so
going to be Tiandi
Thanks
as
to our
well.
players,
But
right?
Oh, yeah.
We're
Tiandi's
doing this
cool
for you,
as well.
Yeah.
but we wouldn't be here without you.
We got you, fam. All right. Cool. So, folks, don't go anywhere, though. Stick around because we're going to come right back to do our wrap-up, talk about some upcoming content, and look at some fun community corner stuff. So, stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, nearly done. Fairly quick stream for this one. As I said before, this is kind of like a mid-season-ish kind of. Well, it's title update 1. It's the beginning of a season, but it's not a main season. I think next season is when there'll be a new character. So, yeah, 2025, January, February. That's when we'll get some bigger changes. Not too many major changes this time. But yeah, the Zanhu hero skin is definitely a massive bonus. Testing Grounds is only Peacekeeper. It's only her feats. But the patch notes are a big deal. I think all those changes are positive. I can't see anything that I'd have an issue with there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think though. I think quite a nice new changes for this season. Am I going to play Warden? Yeah, I will play Warden. Take him into 4v4 and make use of those new feats. Same with Peacekeeper for the testing grounds. I'll take her into Dominion and give that a go as well. We've had some pretty good games with her when the Ezio skin released, so now that she's got better feats, I think that could be very interesting. She's already extremely strong on 1v1s though. She's one of the strongest dual heroes, so she's fine. She's fine there.
Welcome
Whoa, we're back.
Yeah, we made it.
Yes.
Made it.
We made it.
Those
You
were,
made it.
We all made
All
it.
of you.
We all made it.
Even you. You made it.
The patch notes was nice.
Thank you.
Nice segment.
I mean, I didn't do any of that. I was just, but yeah, it was always
I
nice.
was having fun.
I'm so excited for Nusha. I'm not even gonna I mean, folks, if you haven't guessed it by now, it's a maybe a bit of an internal joke, but I love Nusha. All right,
Yeah.
I call her best girl Nusha. I love playing her, so I'm so excited for this. This is a
Very
great buff for her, so it's good stuff.
Amazing.
Yes.
Why don't we take a look at everything that's coming?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Super excited. So we have our new season
Mhm.
live tomorrow, of course. The Serpent Sword. We've got our new Battle Pass and Legacy Pass.
Oh man, that
All
Legacy
live
Pass,
tomorrow, of
so
course.
good.
Our new hero skin, General Ja. So nice.
There
The
he
detailing on
is.
this is actually spectacular.
I think I saw something in the chat call him the sneaky snake,
I like
and
it.
I like it.
Like
so
how
super
his
sneaky
material
snake.
is floating as
I
well.
love
That
it.
looks nice.
I don't know. I just it's funny to me. It's funny. I'm gonna
Floating
wear it.
material and moving eyes on his
It's a
helmet.
snake.
And glowing sword.
We have our seasonal event, Frostwind Offerings.
Yeah.
December 19th. Ice Brawlers is back, baby.
Oh, slip and slide.
Fun.
So good.
Have fun dunking your friends in the drink.
It's the
Gonna
best
be
time.
Great. We've got some Hero Fest coming. You can see right here
Ah.
for Janhu, Conk, and Ocelotl.
Nice.
So
Nice.
next
We
week
also
we'll probably get a
have
new execution
Thunderfoe
for
coming back. Signers are
Zanhu
open.
as well.
Big shout out to Max for I love the signups are open blinking sign. There we go. There's Max.
Ooh, yes. Sign up. Sign up, people. We love watching this stuff.
Yeah.
Like seeing you all compete at like the highest levels.
Mythicary is
awesome.
still going to
So fun
be
to watch, honestly.
pretty strong.
And how good is For Honor to be
But
able to support
not
like
as strong.
4v4 modes at competitive level,
Not at all.
2v2s,
Probably still
1v1s?
S tier.
It's so
Yeah,
much
I'd
fun, like
probably
how
agree.
diverse it is. It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
But,
Amazing.
less annoying to deal with, probably.
We also have testing grounds, of course. We saw earlier coming tomorrow, December
That's right.
5th.
Not next week, but tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And of course, our balance patch with all the patch notes.
with a few things. Yes. Very cool. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. We're really, really excited for all of that. But we also have some content of the week coming your way. So available starting tomorrow. Mythic outfits, Serpent Snare for 15k steel for all heroes. Look at the snake. The snake. The nope rope, the danger noodles.
Very random having a snake
So,
floating over there.
Going there.
Whatever
We
floats
also
your boat.
have a new execution, Killing Them Frostly for 10k steel. So what a season for Betrayal
Yeah,
this
quite a quick
is indeed.
execution
So
there,
That's
quite
a lot
nice.
of fun. We also have a weekly arcade quest for everybody, because everybody gets to play arcade now. So Vortiger's Task, so that'll be available tomorrow as well. So go in there, check out arcade. We have also a Ranked Warrior Challenge event order. So be the faction with the most ranked matches completed, and that'll be running from December 6th through the 9th. So have fun with that.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
Also have our December roadmap, which
Yes.
you
Alright.
can.
I think they have already
you've seen
showed
everything
this,
now,
but
so there's,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah,
Pretty
it's,
much.
Yeah,
but
that
you can see
shows
that on
pretty
our
much everything.
socials, But you can refer to that if you need it.
Yes. Please.
That's not all. We also have what might be the my
Oh.
favorite part. Might be my favorite part.
So
I love
much
the
fun.
community corner.
Doo-doo.
Let's let's have a look.
All right. So now, as always, I haven't seen this.
Nope.
And I appreciate that you save these for me, so I get to be as surprised and excited every time. So
That's a little sneak peek. I'm not gonna
They
lie.
get these clips from
Okay.
Reddit. I never know actually where they
eye
get
for
these.
an eye, a feet for a feet. Oh. Oh, and we still got the cast on. That's awesome. That's pretty good. We're still going. Okay.
Still my enemy in the morning.
Enemies can show respect.
You're still my enemy tonight.
Oh, that's so.
But even enemies can show respect.
Until the drop attacks come. Oh, ooh, this is nice.
These are really nice.
Yeah, it's a Mandalorian.
Oh,
cross.
that's
one there.
isn't that? I don't know if he's still in chat. I think that's
AI.
Hugh Jim.
It thanks me. Oh no! You always have to watch out for the trap. Oh, he bowed. What a jerk!
Nice. Oh, they
I think I know that other cosplay.
This is really awesome.
I think I've seen.
Ooh,
Very,
that is slick.
Oh, that is really good.
Nice job. Nice job. Oh, he did the run. He did the run. Oh, that is really good. I want to know what event this is.
yeah, I don't know. So nice.
Good stuff.
Got a lot of
You missed a little Orochi.
Can't imagine
I'll
the
let
amount
him
of work
say
that
it.
goes
It's
into
really
that. That is, I do respect that.
Anthems we may
Cosplay
be.
is top form.
Yes. It's these moments that just make For Honor the best. And I love it. Oh, just dance party.
Love it.
Big old dance party. I love that.
Oh,
dance.
that happened to me in a match actually the other day.
Why?
Just 2 people
Oh.
had that emote. That was quite fun.
Amazing. What better way to really start off the holiday
So,
season than
the
a big old
emotes have
dance
definitely
party?
come a long way.
And that's incredible.
I love
Wow.
that we always end the show on a positive note. I love it.
We
It's nice.
do.
It's
We
nice,
do.
nice. It's nice.
Super good. Oh, boy, fun
Um,
stuff.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much
Alright.
it for us, Nolan.
Well,
for everyone watching, thank
I think
you
that's
all
going to be it.
for being here.
Nice, pretty much.
Have fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
A lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so be there.
It's going to
Good,
be
good.
great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we're rating someone.
Are we
I
rating
think
someone?
one of our CMs is looking. I believe Jet is looking. So stick
Okay.
around because we're definitely going to be rating someone.
And whoever you raid, just everybody go in the chat and type Sneaky Snake
Yeah.
when you raid, and that way they'll know. They'll know where you're from, so
No,
it'll
you
be
know.
good. If you know, you know.
All right.
All right. I guess that's it.
That's it. Thanks, everyone.
All right, folks. Have a good one. Happy holidays from For Honor.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Please like the vid if you have enjoyed it and subscribe if you're new. Tomorrow we will be trying out the new hero skin for Zanhu and all the other changes coming our way as well. So hope you have an amazing rest of the day and I'll see you in the next video.